السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. معاكم براء عبد الله وأهلا بكم بمؤتمر دي جي سي للألعاب الإلكترونية. دي جي سي هو ديجيتال جيمنج كونفرنس. طبعا إن شاء الله في المؤتمر ذي نتكلم معاكم عن الرياضة الإلكترونية، تطوير الألعاب، وفوق ذي كله نتكلم معاكم مع محترفين وأخصائيين في عالم الجيمنج. فحياكم معنا في هذه الرحلة لمدة 3 أيام. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Digital Gaming Conference happening right here to our brothers and sisters and all the gamers in Saudi Arabia. We're going to have experts and professionals in the field of gaming. So stay tuned. 3 days in this beautiful journey. So, يلا تفضلوا لنبدأ. وأعزائي المشاهدين، مع أول محادثة الرياضة الإلكترونية مع LaLiga. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with the first session, Esports and LaLiga, with our digital editor from Esquire Middle East, Tom Shambler. Take it from here.
All right, Alfredo, thank you for joining us. Where are you right now?
Thanks for having me. I'm currently at the LaLiga's HQ in Madrid.
Perfect. So right before we get into it, I do understand that you have been in esports for more than 10 years. Is that right? I was wondering what your background was.
I mean, myself, I've been working at the sports industry for the last 15 years, working at Real Madrid and Facebook in the media partnership team related to sports and media, and for LaLiga for 3 years. So that's my background related to sports. And for the last 4 years, specifically with esports for the project that we are running at LaLiga. For LaLiga, our background related to esports it's been for the last 6 years. We started with a strong gaming strategy, not specifically related to esports, but to casual and arcade games. For the last 7 years, and the last 4 years, we've been running our main competition, that is eLaLiga, nationally here in Spain. And this year we made it broader, and we started working for the Fan Cup internationally.
So then what was it like going from kind of a proper, I guess, video game background to an organization that is better known for traditional sports?
Well, I mean, it's kind of there are some similarities and some differences. I mean, my background, I work for traditional sports. As I said, I work for Real Madrid, so it was not new to me. But working on tech companies like Facebook, it made a difference. What I will highlight from LaLiga is that we had a huge change in the last 6 years that made us grow kind of as a startup pace. So basically we moved from 40 employees to over 600. We developed several different areas like e-gaming, like the international team that grew exponentially 3 years ago. So the pace and the vision and the way we are organized have some similarities or more similarities to what some tech companies have than to traditional sports world. So I think we have a pretty good combination of both worlds here at LaLiga.
So then how many seasons has eLaLiga Santander been running for now?
So we are about to start the 4th one. We started 3 years ago with 10 teams from LaLiga participating there, and it was basically an open competition where professional players and amateur players could get together and compete to be the best player in Spain. And this 4th season, we are about to have 38 teams from both LaLiga Santander and LaLiga Smartbank. And it will be fully professional. So we are now running, and we just finished our draft process where certain players can qualify to represent one of LaLiga Santander or LaLiga Smartbank teams. And we will be starting on January 11th on the Spanish competition. something new this year, we, as I mentioned before, we are starting with eLaLiga Fan Cup. That will be an international competition for amateur players, and we will have different regions around the world that will compete to represent, or different players around the world that will compete to represent their region in an international final that will be played in Madrid in May.
So then, why do you think it's kind of important for, I guess, kind of professional teams in the traditional sense to be looking into video games, or again, organizations like LaLiga to be looking into video games? Because it's a trend that we've not just seen in something like football, we've also seen it in racing, in basketball in the US.
I mean, to us, it's a way to engage with different audiences. At the end of the day, we have an approach to make LaLiga's brand and LaLiga's audiences broader from the people that consume 90 minutes, something that we started with our gaming strategy, trying to get closer to the fans apart from the 90 minutes that are played on during the weekend. We want to engage them during the week too, and also engage audiences like the Gen Z or millennial audiences that maybe they get closer to football in a different way from older audiences. When I was a kid, I get to know football because my father brought me to a match. But now there are a lot of kids around the world and even in Spain that their first approach to football or to LaLiga's brands is through a video game, FIFA in this case. So we want to get closer to them. We want to start a relationship and engage with them and try to connect through the platforms and through the languages that they already speak. So that's what we've been working for the last 3 years, and LaLiga's teams understood that it's a great opportunity to position themselves beyond sports and beyond football and start having that conversation about entertainment. We, at the end of the day, we are an entertainment company that compete with many other entertainment platforms, such as Netflix, HBO. At the end of the day, we want to have our fans consuming and engaging with LaLiga's content the maximum time possible.
So, Alfredo, I've got to say, this is probably the longest conversation I've had this year without mentioning the elephant in the room that is 2020, the pandemic. So obviously, that's kind of affected everyone, but for football and sports in particular, that actually meant that people couldn't go into stadiums. Do you think that kind of video games kind of, I guess, moved into that space? And then do you ever think that video games may kind of surpass or replace traditional sports like football, for example?
I mean, it represents an opportunity for video games to have a place, especially in the end of the winter or starting spring. It happened to us. At the end of the day, we've been without competition for several months. Even we had to cancel our competition for eLaLiga, but we find room to use our resources that we have for esports to start creating content related to our esports team and our esports structure. So I think it accelerated the pace in terms of broader audiences to get to esports and to video gaming. At the end of the day, it's a really niche product so far, where younger audiences consume that. But by the situation that we had with COVID, audiences that probably are not so into this kind of content get to know it. And it happened to us with the initiative that we ran, the LaLiga Santander Challenge, where one of the biggest video gaming influencers in Spain, he launched a challenge to LaLiga teams, and the best players from LaLiga teams, they compete to raise money against COVID. To your question about video gaming replacing the sports industry, I mean, those are big words. I think it will never replace it. At the end of the day, for example, football is the biggest entertainment product in the world, even over sports. I mean, it is the biggest entertainment product in terms of revenue. So I think there will be room for both products, and I think the right approach is to try to find which are the synergies between traditional sports world and video gaming and competitive gaming entertainment. At the end of the day, I think there could be a knowledge transfers between both worlds, and the good thing is to make both ecosystems beneficial from each other.
Well, so kind of as we touched on before, the pandemic kind of, it took everyone by surprise. Is there anything that eLaLiga did that you're particularly proud of?
Yeah, I mean, what I mentioned before, the challenge that we launched in like 3 days to raise money. We raised over 150K in 2 days to help fight COVID. And we created a specific show that we had twice a week that was called LaLiga Santander Zone, where we get together professional esports players plus professional LaLiga players to generate content and discuss how they were going through all the situation, how they compete on video games, and we managed to make all our social channels grow during that time. So I think being in this world for the last 4 years helped us to have flexibility and the capacity to adapt ourselves to start generating different content related to esports in a moment that was crucial to us to keep the audience engaged. At the end of the day, we also had to cancel our competition until June, that we could resume it for eLaLiga. So being flexible, have such a strong team that has been working on this for the last 4 years, help us to adapt ourselves and reinvent the concept of the project for those months.
So kind of, you mentioned it earlier, but kind of we've mostly been talking about the kind of professional world of traditional sports or esports. Now the eLaLiga Fan Cup, that's for amateurs. I'm wondering why you've decided to move in that direction after these seasons of kind of professional gamers.
So for Spain, we are going fully professional. It's where we want to build that professional ecosystem together with LaLiga clubs. Internationally, what we are looking is more for an ambition or a vision of the kids that play video games in their countries, have like an aspiration to represent their regions, to compete with the best amateur players or even professionals if they wanna sign up, and compete internationally with other regions. So for us is as important to work with the professional ecosystem plus the grassroots. So for us it's a way to engage with those young fans that they love LaLiga, they love video games, they like to play FIFA, and they probably dream to come to Madrid, get together with other guys that have the same interest for different regions in the world, and have the chance to compete during the weekend that we're gonna be playing the professional final for Spain here in Madrid, to compete to be the best player, the best amateur player in the world, and have the chance to live that experience. So to us, is as important to build that professional ecosystem as to start creating a grassroots program that help us to develop LaLiga's brands and LaLiga's values within those audiences.
Well, again, so LaLiga is known around the world, but generally because it is the home of Spanish football. Why open up this tournament to people outside of the country, specifically here in the Middle East?
I mean, one of the biggest goals to us in the last 6-7 years is to make LaLiga's brand broader, and as I mentioned before, have the possibility to engage with broader fans. So bringing our expertise and our experience to events of this kind is quite important. At the end of the day, we have fans all over the world, and we want to have more fans and get them closer to us, not just watching football matches on TV. It's giving them the possibility to interact and to engage deeper with LaLiga. And Middle East is a key region for us since we opened our office in Dubai in 2014. So it's a strategic region. We have a lot of fans in that region. Saudi is one of the regions where we have more fans. Our social media networks grew exponentially in the last years there, and to us, having the chance to bring an opportunity of these kinds to the region is absolutely essential.
So I guess kind of the last question is probably one of the hardest, and that is the role of eLaLiga within the wider organization. Is this something that's going to be run kind of side by side? Is it a way to market the, I guess, traditional league to a brand new audience? Is it something to be grown? Do you think one day it will actually surpass, the regular physical LaLiga? I'm just interested to know kind of what you think.
I mean, in terms of organization, eLaLiga is integrated, is part of LaLiga, and most likely it will keep this way. At the end of the day, it's a project that is integrated by LaLiga's team. So what I think it will grow is the project itself. So we started with 10 teams 3 years ago, and now we are competing with 38 teams. Resources are getting bigger. Production is getting brighter and shinier. So the project itself and the fully professional esports football ecosystem will grow. In terms of surpassing traditional LaLiga, I think that's, as I said before, those are big words. At the end of the day, we're talking about a business of over 2 billion in TV rights per year. So esports is growing, and it's an ecosystem that is growing at a high pace. But I think we're still far from surpassing football from esports or football esports.
Perfect. Which do you prefer watching, the esport or the real sport?
I mean, I like both. I mean, I'm from a generation that have both worlds when I was a kid. So I grew up playing football in the streets, and I grew up playing video games. So personally, I enjoy both products. I think there's room for both, and it's a question of being able to enjoy the good things of both products.
Yeah, so it's basically LaLiga wherever you want it.
Yeah, it's our approach. So it doesn't matter if it's related to content or to products or to interactions. What we try to do is to engage with LaLiga fans in the way they want, in the language they want, and the platform they want. So that goes from social media. So we have social media networks in China, in Southeast Asia, in Russia, and in Western countries. And we speak in 18 languages. With content adapted to the different regions. So basically what we want is to being able to connect in a strongest way with our fans. It doesn't matter where they want to interact. So we put the fan in the center of the conversation, and we go to engage with him.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Alfredo, for joining me. I look forward to talking to you very soon.
Thanks to you, and thanks for having me.
No, that was exciting. LaLiga, esports. The future looks bright and beautiful for esports. Now, let's talk about branding. We know our brandings, right, when it comes to gaming. Like we have PlayStation, Nintendo, Capcom, Ubisoft, and to name a few. But what about BMW and Mars, as they meet gaming? والآن أعزائي المشاهدين خلصنا مع لاليغا والرياضة الإلكترونية. جميل، ممتاز، وضع حماس يا أعزائي المشاهدين. الحين نجي حق ماركات معينة مثل بلاي ستيشن، نينتندو، مايكروسوفت، كابكوم وبعض الماركات في عالم الجيمنج. بس نسمع كلمة أو ماركة مارس، BMW. شلون هذه الشركات بتدش في عالم الجيمنج؟ الآن مع المحادثة التالية. And now for our next session, when non-endemic brands meets gaming. Let's go.